I'm engaged.
Girl.
Grace and peace, everybody. So I just wanted to address the elephant in the room. I am engaged and I am so excited. There's just so much that I want to talk about, so much that I just want to get through. I didn't get any actual footage of the proposal, but I got stories for days, and that is what we're going to talk about today while I do my makeup. By the time you guys see this video, I am on vacation. So as you can tell, I got my vacation braids, and I'll leave my braiders information down below. I was gonna get my sister to do them this time, but I just didn't have time to go all the way to North Carolina. So I just went to the same girl who did my stitch braids, which y'all have seen in my vlogs before. And she did a wonderful job. I'm still trying to get used to all the little curly pieces. She put in human hair. She provided all the hair. She did everything. I just showed up with my hair washed and blow dried and ready to go, and she did her thing. Definitely worth every dollar spent. So let us get into the obvious. Don't mind my stuff in the bag. I've been doing laundry. I'm trying to get stuff situated before I leave. Let me get my stuff out because I don't want to be flustered over what I'm saying. I just want to get right into it. So I am engaged. I know things kind of really took a turn very quickly. Back in October, I was talking about how, I was starting Vlogtober, and I was just kind of talking about, the Lord, he told me to go to Genesis and read about Abraham and Sarah. And it was just such an interesting direction that he took me in. He was just teaching me how to wait and waiting well and, making sure I'm not idolizing things, just really putting a lot of things into perspective. And hear me, I've seen some comments, and no, nobody fasted for a husband, y'all, okay? I've seen some stuff. I didn't fast for a husband. I didn't fast for that. I've never fasted for a husband, to be quite honest. I think this is just simply something the Lord wanted to just blow my mind and do. And he's so funny because when I say that I serve a God of 1159, this is what I be talking about. God can turn your situation around in a blink of an eye. You just gotta be open and ready and willing to let him do that. He told me to go to Genesis and read about Abraham and Sarah. So I read and I studied, and I was in Genesis for months. I'm not just coming out of Genesis, but I mean, within the last few weeks, I've started to go to other things, but I've been in Genesis for so long. And I really feel like it was so intentional because God was just really showing me different things about waiting. During that time, there was just a big mind shift change that had already been happening prior to. There was just so much happening on the inside of me that was changing, where I was just really trying to put different things into perspective, making sure I wasn't idolizing this huge desire that I wanted. Just so many different things was happening. And y'all, when I tell you, God just came in and blew my mind. I met my fiance, and just how God set everything up, it was just an undeniable thing. And I've always been so skeptical to talk about, what I feel like the Lord is doing, especially when it comes to love life stuff. But when I say the way God has moved in my life in this particular area, I am just so mind blown. I mean, granted, I'm mind blown in almost every area of my life, but it has always been my love life that has always been how is this gonna work? Stuff in front of me isn't coming together. People that I thought really liked me don't really like me. This person's really not treating me well. It was just always something. Just the way God set this up was just so beautiful. So beautiful. And fast forward, I met my fiance, and I'll be honest, where I was in my mind, I wasn't even checking for a man anymore. I was like, I'm good. People like to waste your time. People like to just pitter pat around, really not give you clarity, really not give you direction. And I was just in a place of confusion, but also openness. All right, God, this isn't working. This isn't coming together. Cool. Maybe you just don't want me to be with anybody right now, and that's okay. So just fasting, I'm telling you, fasting will get people up out of there. If you want to talk about fasting, I didn't fast for a husband, but I definitely fasted for some clarity about some things, and it got rid of people. I will say that. I met my fiance, and he is such a wonderful guy, and I don't know. I'm still like trying to piece together all of the words, all of the things, because he really did come into my life at a time where I was like, you know what, God, I'm good. Like I am. It's not me being double-minded. It's not me, you know, saying I don't want it anymore, because I do, but it's definitely coming from a place of, you know what, God, you really do have full control over this area of my life. You know, and I was saying that before, but also still in a way trying to make sure something came together. And I was really trying to put an extra effort to making sure someone liked me. And it just wasn't lining up, right? And it wasn't supposed to. And, you know, I was asking the Lord for clarity. I was like, God, and where I'm at, you know, how I feel about men right now. And it's not even that I was feeling bad about men. I was just good. And I just remember, you know, asking Sonny to be my best friend. And I just remember how I was feeling in that moment where I just redirected my focus to different things. And I met my fiance. And I keep saying that I met my fiance, because he, when I say so patient, so kind, so determined, so just moves correct, is what I like to say. Moves correct and just loves well. Things honestly moved pretty quickly, you know what I'm saying? And I just truly feel like when it's God and when you and a healed, you know, you being healed and the person you meet are healed and you both know what you want, sometimes it really doesn't take a whole lot to come together and really solidify on the things that you want, especially when the things that you want are the same. And I met my fiance. And I am just over the moon. I am elated. I am just so many things right now. I'm still working through some details with things. So if I'm still kind of sort of talking in a little bit of a code, just bear with me. It's just because, yeah, this is still new. This is still happening. It's happening. It's here. The wait is over. Glory be to God. But also there are still, you know, things happening, and I just want to, respect that privacy. But let's get into the engagement. So I already had an inkling that he wanted to propose to me just by the way he moves. Now, you know, when you got a man that really wants to be with you, when they don't waste time, and it's not even that they're trying to rush and do things, but they move correct about you. Y'all have the same beliefs, y'all have the same, everything. And they just move correct about you. I set my boundaries early on. He set his boundaries early on, and we just rolled with that. And we just knew what we wanted. It was just a beautiful thing. So I already knew that he wanted to propose to me, that he wanted to marry me. It was just even the things that he would say, how he would talk about his future, and his future would include me. And it was just a lot. And I was just like, yeah, I found my person. And I feel like I don't even know if I'm doing a great job of even explaining this, but I'm telling you, I remember even before I met my fiance, I was just like, dang, I feel like I spent a lot of time trying to get to know other people, and it doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of reaches a major dead end, which is fine. Like, it was supposed to be that way, and it's fine. And then I remember telling God, I was like, God, I'm like, dang, like I spent all this time, getting to know this person just for it to end in like this confused dead end, whatever. And I was like, and not that I wouldn't want to take the time to meet someone new and all the things, but it was just like, I just feel like time was wasted. So when I met my fiance, it was just like the Lord redeemed so much time. Like the way him and I connected, the way him and I just meshed so well together. It was just like the Lord was like, I got it. You ain't even gotta worry about the timing. Like, I got it. Don't you worry. You just continue to uphold my commands and do things the right way. Like, I got you from here. Like, you're good. And it's so, like, when I say, even saying this right now seems like a dream, because for so long, my story has always been like, oh yeah, this didn't work out. Oh yeah, I was mistreated. This didn't work out. Oh, it was kind of toxic. Like, da-da-da-da. Like, it was just all these different things. And just for it to get to this point and I meet this wonderful person, I am just still in utter shock. Yeah, I knew he wanted to marry me, and I didn't really know when. I had mind you, we talked about it. Now, me getting engaged wasn't like, oh my God, like this is such a surprise. We have conversations, we talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had those conversations. We went ring shopping, like, to get our sizes. Like, we were just moving so intentional and just courting each other, just continuing to court each other. I mean, we still are courting. You know what I'm saying? Just setting those boundaries, doing things the right way, waiting till marriage for things, and just all this beautiful stuff. Just the way he moved about me, you know, my family and his family. Yeah, so let's get to the proposal. So he proposed to me on Christmas Eve, and I had no idea. Like, that was the surprise. Like, Sunny knew all about my proposal. She knew all about the details. He talked to her and told her things. So she knew all about my engagement just as much as I knew about hers. I think she knew a little bit more details about mine than hers, because I didn't know exactly when Aaron was going to propose to her, but I knew I saw the ring, I saw everything. So that was just so beautiful how God just even allowed me to do this with my best friend. Like, we'll get to that. Because Sunny and I actually want to get together and talk to you guys about that as well. But the day he proposed to me on Christmas Eve, and he had told me maybe like a week and a half before Christmas Eve that we needed to go to his parents' house and help his mom wrap a gift for his dad. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking like, wrap a gift? Like, what kind of gift did she get him where she needs, 2 adult extra hands? So I'm thinking she got him a motorcycle or something. I don't know. I was just thinking of everything. But in my mind, I love his parents. I'm like, whatever. Anything they need, I'll be there. I'm gonna go and help. So we get dressed, and I was literally just getting ready to put on a sweatshirt. Like, I don't know if you guys seen my proposal video, but I had on like this yellow sweatshirt, so I was dressed pretty chill. And I even told him, I was like, yeah, I don't even think I'm gonna wear any makeup. I think I'm gonna just pull up like and just chill. He was like, no, do your face. Like, he was like, I think that'll be nice. And I feel like he mentioned something about his mom liking my makeup too. So I was just like, bet. Let me do my face real quick. And this is when I was posting like crazy throughout the holidays for the holiday Christmas stuff. I was doing like the countdown. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? He's right. Like, let me go ahead and do my face, because this is just extra content that I can have in my back pocket and that I could post, at a later date. So I do my makeup, I make my little content video, and I did my face. So we're riding down the road, down the highway, and we're singing music, we're singing songs. I'll add a little clip. We're busy singing. And, now looking back at the video, he was singing, but he was definitely more quiet than usual. But I didn't really like catch on to it. I was just zoning out. I was just singing, and it was just such a peaceful ride. And it was so funny is because I had asked him if we could stop and get some coffee before we went, because going to his parents is a little bit of a drive. So I was like, can we stop and get some coffee? And he was like, can we stop like when we get closer? Cause he was like, I'm just trying to get down the highway. I kind of cocked a little attitude. I was just like, all right, cool, like whatever. So then we get in the car. So as we're riding down the road, I asked him, I was like, going to the coffee shop it wasn't even gonna take 5 minutes. Like, I could have just done like a little pickup order. Like, I have a favorite coffee shop out here. I was like, I could have just done like a little order. It would have been cool. I didn't get, like, when I say I cocked the attitude, I didn't get like a major attitude. I was just like, okay. Like, you know how you just kind of want to sip on some coffee as you travel, whatever. So he was like, can we just get down the road? And I was like, cool, like, that's fine. Like, I did kind of hold us up just a little bit because I was doing my makeup, but you told me to do my makeup. Whatever. So we get down the road, we're singing, we're listening to just a bunch of different, gospel songs and whatnot. We finally get to his parents' house, and his mom welcomes us like normal, her pretty self. Love his mom, y'all. Open the door. She was like, well, hello, beautiful. And, we were just talking. And as we're talking, she was like, do you want to put your coat down? You want to put your purse down? You guys want anything to drink? And as this is happening, I was already aware that his dad wasn't supposed to be around because he's supposed to be working or something, because again, we're trying to wrap this gift for him. So my fiance, he was like halfway headed down, like downstairs. And I'm like, why is he going downstairs so fast? Like, we were barely up here talking to his mom. So she was like, hey, C, like, she was like, you're not gonna wait for Jalen, like, to go downstairs? Because she was saying that, to wrap the gift and everything was downstairs. So I guess in my mind at the time, I was just thinking he was just trying to get it done. He's been in the military, so in my mind, he's like pretty punctual with things. So he's just like ready to go. And I was like, it's okay. I was like, I'll go ahead and, head downstairs and help him. And she was like, okay, like, I'll be down there in a few. Bet. As I'm walking down the steps, y'all, our song, we have this song, you know how like with your significant other, you have like, oh, this is our song. So we have a song. I'm not gonna share it yet because it's definitely something we're gonna have at our wedding, and I don't want nobody taking our song because I ain't heard nobody using this song. So I'm not saying it, not right now. But yeah, so as I'm walking down the steps, I hear the song comes on the TV. She was already playing music in the house, like on their TV. So it was already kind of loud. So her cutting on a different song didn't throw me off. But the song that played had me be like, oh, I didn't know your mom knew this song. So I had said that out loud as I was heading down the steps. I was like, babe, I didn't know your mom knew this song. Silence from him. I'm like, where the heck is he at? So I come down the stairs and I cut the corner, and in the corner, he has this entire thing. I'll post pictures, of course. He has this entire thing set up, and all I see is him standing there, hands in his pocket, just cheesing at me. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. And just like talking about this makes me so happy because it was just such a beautiful, like the proposal was so beautiful. But anyway, so yeah, so I cut the corner. I see him standing there and he grabs my hand. He's like, come here. And I wish we have it on tape. We don't. I wasn't vlogging, unfortunately. I wish I had my camera and everything. I wasn't vlogging. But I head down the steps and my mouth is just open. I see the will you marry me lights on the little fixture where all the flowers and stuff are. And I was just in utter shock. I was like, oh my God. And I just kept saying his name. I'm like, see. I'm like, what? And he grabs my hand. Of course, he tells me the things that he wanted to tell me. And then of course he asked the famous question. And I'm like, of course I said yes. I was like, yes, of course. So we share our moment. And it's so funny how much of a crybaby I am. Like I cry about everything. In that moment, I didn't even cry, y'all. I'm just standing there because I'm in shock. And I think when I'm in pure shock like that, I cannot cry because it took me about 10 minutes or so to actually cry. So we're still standing there, we're talking. He opens the box. The box has this light on it. The ring is just bling blow. Like all these things are happening. My mouth just drops to the floor because I'm like, how much did you spend on this ring? Like that's where my mind was going. I'm like, how much you spend? So the ring fits perfectly. We put it on, we share our moment, and after after like 10 minutes or so, I burst out crying. And the first thing I was just saying, like, God really does hear the cry of his people. So I was just crying. I was just a big baby. And I mean, he's just like me. Like he was in shock too. So he didn't cry until later. So after that, after we have our moment, I, wipe my face. We head back upstairs, to share in this moment with his mom. So I go upstairs. His dad is there now. So they're just like, they're just standing there looking. They're like, is everything okay? And then, my fiance, he came around the corner. He was like, she said yes. So then, of course, like we all hugged and just shared in that moment. And then his dad was like, I was hoping everything was okay. He was like, y'all were down there for a little minute. He's like, and it was kind of quiet. So I was trying to figure out if you had said yes. And I was like, yeah, I was crying. And I was just trying to I'm just in shock. And, of course they had a few words for us and stuff. And they're just excited for me to be a part of their family. And if I talk too much about that, I am going to literally cry this makeup off. So we'll move on. So we share that moment with his family and they see the ring, just all these things. And so then of course, his parents ended up having to leave to do something. I think they had to go to like their pastor's house or something. So we were just there at the house and we were just, of course, just still basking in the moment. So then that's when I called my family. I called my dad first. I called my dad first because he was already in on it. He already knew. He had asked my dad's hand for my hand in marriage. So I called him and he, my dad is just so happy. And my dad has always said, I told you your Prince Charming was coming. He would always say that. Anytime I was dealing with like heartbreak in the past, like in high school or just whatever, if I've ever come to my dad about like a relationship problem, he was always like, your Prince Charming is out there. Like you do not have to deal with all of this mess. Like your person is out there who is going to love you, take care of you. Like you don't have to deal with this stuff. And he was like, I told you he was out there. I told you he was out there. And that's gonna make me cry now, y'all. So yeah, so I share that moment with my dad. Then I call my mom and she had no idea. So I called my mom and she's like, what is that? What's that?
I'm engaged, Mom.
And that's what I put in like when I announced our engagement. That's who that was. That was my mom. She was like, what is that? And I said, Mom, I have something to tell you. I'm engaged. And she was like, what? And it took her so long to kind of come to the realization that I wasn't joking. Now, granted, we're not people who do pranks. We don't like pranks. I grew up, my dad don't like that stuff. So pranks, we really don't do. So I don't even know why she thought I was joking because I don't ever play like that. But anyway, she was like, what is that? She was like, you're lying, you're joking. And I was like, Mom, no. So I got up, I showed her the whole like, will you marry me sign and just all the flowers and the candles and the pictures, just everything. And she was like, oh my God, like she was in shock. And she was like, well, congratulations, let me see the ring. She was like, you know, it really doesn't take a man long to know if he really wants to be with you and all these things. And it took, like I said, it just took her a minute to kind of come to the realization. And like now she's super, like she was excited then, but she's like definitely excited now because like we're talking wedding stuff now. Then I called my sister and just all these things. And yeah, it was just such a beautiful day. Of course, I called Sunny and because she already knew about it, and called her and we were just on the phone just going crazy. She was excited. Unfortunately, she didn't feel good that day, so she was at home just kind of relaxing and stuff. But I called her and we just kind of shared in our moment, and little did she know she was getting proposed to the next day. But of course I couldn't tell her that. She didn't know that, but I did. Anyway, ever since Christmas Eve, I have just been in complete shock still. And it's just so beautiful how fast the Lord will work. And when I say I'm really living out Amos 9:13-15, like these scriptures really do jump off of the page. And when you allow God into your life to really do some things, He will blow your mind. Give room, give God the space in the room to blow your mind, because He will do just that. And when I say my mind is blown, okay? But I am so happy. I appreciate all of the love, all of the comments. I had like 4,000 comments. It was insane. Like I just had to do one of them things where I was like, thank you to everybody, because me trying to go through all of those, I was just getting so overwhelmed. And then of course you have people who have questions, you have people who don't really have anything nice to say, so you have to block those people and you have to remove those people. Amen. You know, especially with just like everything else going on in the world, it does feel good to have something to be excited about and look forward to. I've talked about relationship stuff for a while here on my channel. You guys have seen me walk through some things in the past, and it is just a beautiful thing on how the Lord really does redeem time. He really does hear the cries of His people, and I am just beyond excited. It was so funny though. I don't even know if I want to put this in the video, but hear me. I don't know, just like a couple weeks before I met my fiance, I had some people reach out to me, and if you catch me in the spirit, then catch me in the spirit. But I was just like, why in the world are you reaching out to me? I really feel like it was the enemy just trying to see if I was gonna be dumb, because he knew what was coming. And out of my mouth, I said, oh, my husband must be around the corner, because there is no way this person is reaching out to me. Like there's just no way this person is saying what they're saying to me right now. Like there's just no way. I said, yeah, my husband has to be around the corner, because I feel like the enemy is just trying to see if I'm gonna be stupid and trip up and miss out on a beautiful blessing. And that person got blocked. I don't even know how they weren't blocked before, because I definitely had blocked them. So all of that happened, and I had said, I'm like, yeah, my fiance has to be around the corner. I was like, my husband has to be around the corner, because there's just no way. I am an engaged girl, and I am so excited. And speaking of, hello, baby.
Hey.
Hi, honey. What's up?
You recording a video?
Yeah.
So I ain't mean to interrupt.
You can say hello if you like.
What's good? What's good? You live?
I'm not live, but it'll be in the video.
Right. No, I was just calling to check on you.
I'm doing good. I'm just talking about the day we got engaged. That's the topic. That's the topic of today's video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you finished talking to the people.
Okay. I'll call.
When you done.
Yeah, I'll call you back in a few. I don't have much longer to go, but I'll call you back in a few.
All right. I love you.
I love you too. Okay, so yeah, I was like, my husband must be around the corner, because there's just no way that this is happening. So anyway, that's really not even important. But anyway, Lord and behold, I was right. He was right around the corner, y'all, because literally that following week, like I had bumped into who is now my fiance, and yes, we bumped into each other. Like I had always said I wanted like a really cute love story, and I kind of had lost hope in just having like a love story, just because of how social media is. It's like I don't go a lot of places, so it's not like I'm about to meet him, I'm gonna see him across the room and we make eye contact. Like I don't be out like that. And then, and I would tell God before too, I'm like, God, how in the world am I supposed to meet somebody if I'm at home all the time? You know what I'm saying? And God is just so funny. I bump into him at my apartment building. I met my fiance at home, like literally in the apartment building I live in. Like, isn't that crazy, y'all? So God was like, I got it set up. Like, you're good. I know you don't go anywhere. Like, it's fine. I'm gonna let you meet your man where you live at. It's just so crazy how things really do come together when you just really surrender it to God. And that song, I'm telling you, like, and I was just saying like some months ago, I was like, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know it's turning it around. Like, I just knew God was gonna turn things around for me. I just didn't know when, and I didn't know how. And because I just knew how defeated I felt with, just different things. And I just know like the feelings I was feeling at that time. So people may look at this story and be like, oh, that's quick, that's this, that's that. But when it's God, I ain't putting no time limit on that. Like, I'm being realistic about things of when we're gonna do things. Sure, there's still things, but God is just so good, man. And I'm not saying I doubted my father, but boy, I was getting discouraged. But I saw this thing on TikTok the other day, and it was like, God is a girl's dad. Y'all, I about lost my mind when I saw that. God is a girl dad. Ah! He really does hear the cries of his people, especially the women. Men, if you just so happen to be on my channel, he hears your prayers too. But he really hears the prayers of a woman. And I saw this pastor talking about it. He was like, every time in the Bible where a woman prayed, oh, God answered, like, if not right away. And I mean, and speaking about Abraham and Sarah, I mean, it makes me think of, Ishmael's mom, who was, Sarah's Egyptian slave and whatnot, who, she told her to sleep with Abraham so they could have a baby. And how she got casted out because Sarah was feeling how she was feeling. She got jealous. She felt all these things, casted her out. She's out and she's about to give up because she's like, I mean, I did what my owner, my master told me to do. Now it's like I'm being like ridiculed for that. And God heard her prayer and he was like, I got you. Like, your son is going to be good. Like, you're going to be good. He answered her. And it's just like I said, it's not that I doubted my father. I knew he was hearing my prayers, but just in the midst of waiting, in the midst of that, sometimes you do get discouraged because it's like, maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe this just isn't going to be a part of my story. And I had to come to grips with that. Like, I was like, I'm actually cool if it's not part of my story. The world finna end anyway. Like, that's really how I feel. Even now being engaged, I'm excited. I'm all the things. I pray that the Lord don't end the world just yet. But I know we are living in the last days, so I'm just like, I'm excited for this, but I'm also excited to go home. But on top of that, it's like, I'm grateful that the Lord is allowing me to experience this while I am on earth, because it was something I was dealing with for a while. Like, yes, I wanna go home and I wanna meet Jesus and I wanna be in heaven, like, when my time comes to leave earth. But I'm like, also, I do have some desires here on earth that I would like to experience and have, and I want to do things the right way and catch me in the spirit. Like, I want to be a mom. Like, I want to do things while I'm here on earth. It's like, maybe I won't be able to experience that. And I had to come to grips with that. Like, I had to be okay if that just wasn't going to be part of my story. And I was okay with that. And as soon as I became really okay with that, God was like, okay, now you're ready. Now you're good. Like, come on. Because it was really something I had to continue to check about myself to make sure me wanting to be married, me having a man was not on the throne of my heart, and that God only has that place in my heart. Only he has that. And I told you guys there was a sermon from 2819 Church. Pastor Philip Anthony was talking about, divorce. He was talking about singleness. He was talking about getting married, and he broke it down. He broke it down, y'all. He was breaking it down. And I was like, it's so funny that I see this kind of sermon after I meet my fiance, but it's like, it is what it is. But it's just crazy how the Lord really does move. He can change your circumstances. He can do the impossible, or what seems like the impossible, because nothing's impossible for God. And like I always say, if you don't get anything else from my channel, get Jesus. You'll see me travel, you'll see me talk about makeup and hair and fashion and all these things, but get Jesus at the end of the day. I'm sought out for God, and I am just excited when I see God do things, especially like in other people's lives. But I'm just happy that I have a platform that he has given me, that he's allowed me to have for so long. And so many beautiful supporters are here that are also having the same kind of desires, the same kind of like driven faith in him and all of these things. Like, I'm just so happy that all of you are here. And I just always pray that I can just be somewhat of, you know, just continue to be a witness to the works of Jesus and the things that he is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we read the stories in the Bible of the things that God did then, but he is the same God that is doing things now. Like, he's answering prayers now. And I'm gonna just say this too, because this is just making me think about, you know, all the things that are going on in the world. Like, this is not the end all be all. Like, there was, not recently, but there was once upon a time that I was like, I just can't wait to like have my husband, like everything is gonna be all good. Yes, things are great, things are good, cool, but also there is still work to be done in me. There is still work to be done in the earth. And this isn't the end all be all. And it's like, now being on the other side of having that desire fulfilled, it's a great feeling, it's a great thing, but also it's like, yay, excitement, but also I still got work to do. I still got stuff to get done. I still have a father to get home to. That is still very much at the forefront of my mind. Even in my relationship, just making sure that we're glorifying God in every way that we possibly can, and just doing things the right way, and just going things about everything the right way. Like, we're just excited, and we are, like I said, just basking in all of it. And it took me a minute to kind of get part 2 up, because I was just trying to figure out like how I wanted to address, like, you know, how I was feeling about the engagement and just how I'm feeling right now, because I know how I was feeling a few months ago, and just, you know, all these things. Also dealing with negative comments. It's just like, okay. Here's the thing. I don't share my experiences. I don't share my life. I don't share anything like that for the approval of others. But I recognize that to be a representative of Christ, there is a level of responsibility that you do carry. And with that, I just want to make sure that I'm always covering, you know, that I'm talking about it all. Like, I'm not really leaving anything out. You know, I understand like questions or confusion, but it is what it is. Like, my story is just vastly different. You know, and me and Sunny talk about it all the time. Like, just because, you know, this is something that she accepted for her life doesn't mean you have to accept that for your life. Just because this is something I accepted for my life doesn't mean you have to accept that for your life. So I don't really understand the negative comments that have come through. I can understand like confusion, like, oh, I thought you were just talking about singleness, or I thought you were just talking about this situation. I get that part. This is why I'm talking about it, because it's like God works quick. God works in very mysterious ways, and I'm gonna just talk about it because it's my life. It's what the Lord is doing in my life, and I'm not ashamed of that. But my motto is like, even if you feel like something was too fast, even if you feel like something came too late, even if you feel like, oh, she waited too long, or she did this too fast, or she did whatever the case is, you know, recognize that all of it is for the glory of God. And my biggest motto is, if you don't agree, you know, it can just be something that you whisper to yourself. Well, thank God that's not my story. Happy for you, but thank God that's not my story, because I wouldn't get married. I mean, I wouldn't get engaged in a few months, or I wouldn't get engaged after several years. Like, I wouldn't do that, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a beautiful thing. And like I said, it's definitely something Sunny and I want to talk about more together, you know, on a video. That's something we're chatting through right now. It's something that we want to do. Y'all, well, how do you avoid the tangles in the hair? Because I'm like, look at this. Currently, as I speak, as I'm filming this, I haven't even left for vacation yet. And I'm already like, well, my hair gonna be tangled up by the time I even get to where I'm trying to go. I know I gotta put like some conditioner and stuff on it. Maybe that's what I need to do. I think that's what I need to do. Anyway, but yeah, it's definitely something that Sunny and I want to talk a little bit more about at a later time. But it's just a beautiful thing, because at the end of the day, all of it is for the glory of God. God is gonna get glorified in all of it. And I am, like I said, my fiance and I are very much excited. I took the C necklace off, like, because I'm gonna just call him C, so when I say C, you know who I'm talking about. But C and I are very, very, very excited. And, you know, this has just definitely been an eye-opener for him as well, and in terms of how God is moving in his life, and how we've been growing has just been so beautiful. And it's very much a God thing. And despite what anyone may think, it's definitely a God thing. And I'm very, very excited. I will say it took me a minute to kind of get part 2 up, because I didn't really know how I wanted to talk about this, because this is so precious to me. This is so like, it's so precious to me. So I don't want anything negative to be said about it. So yeah, I have been kind of like holding off on putting part 2 up, but I am excited that I did wait, because I wanted to kind of like do this portion and then talk about it, because I feel like this just kind of directly addresses the elephant in the room as opposed to anything else. I am so excited. I am very much happy. I'm so happy that you guys are happy for me. And I have just gotten countless of messages and calls and DMs and comments and just all these things. And the majority are always so sweet. And I'll be honest, I have been avoiding the comment section just a little bit because there have been some negativity that has come through, which is very unfortunate, but it's social media. It is what it is. There are people who aren't gonna agree. There are people who are gonna be confused. And in the confusion, they don't necessarily ask for like understanding of what's going on. They're just more so like ready to point a finger and try to call out something that's not even the case. So those things I'm not gonna address, but I just wanna say to all of you who are happy for me, who are cheering me on, who've been praying for me, this is a different transition that I'm walking into. And it's like, my biggest thing is before you say if you wanna say something negative, like even before you leave something negative, did you pray for me? Like this is something new, this is something that you just don't jump into just for the sake of doing it. Keep me lifted and just know that your girl is excited. And this is honestly a dream come true. And I'm just happy that the Lord is allowing me to witness this. Hopefully, because like I'm telling you, I'm a true believer of the Lord coming back for his church. So all I'm saying is I'm just happy that the Lord is allowing me to experience this, because if the Lord ends the world before I can actually get married, then so be it. But I am happy and grateful unto the Lord that he is allowing me to experience this much this far. It's been a beautiful thing to be able to do this with your best friend. Like that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Being able to do this with your best friend. I got engaged on Christmas Eve. Sunny got engaged on Christmas Day. The fact that we got to walk through each other's engagement and just like the excitement behind it, being able to talk to each other's persons about like when they want to do it, how they want to do it, like just being able to be a witness to that and just see how happy she is and just to see her dreams come true. It is just a blessing beyond what I can even try to articulate and put into words. God is just so funny. He is just so funny, and I'm just so grateful unto him. How the beginning of 2024 started is not how it ended. It ended completely different. What? So when I say God is truly a man of his word, and I said, if you don't get anything from my channel, if you don't get anything from this video today, just know, get Jesus and just wait well. I know waiting is a thing. Just wait on the Lord, because the way the Lord has come in and surprised me and has surpassed my expectations of what any of this could even look like. How I am treated by my fiance is a dream. And it's like, I get why everything else did not work out. I get it, because the way I am treated, the way I am handled, the way I am shown God's love through a person is just, it just make me look at any other situation like, girl, why don't you just sit still? Like, why don't you just... But all of it works together for the good of those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. So I am just full of joy. I'm full of excitement. And I just want to encourage anybody watching that if you are still waiting, if you are, and I'm not even trying to be one of those people like, oh, she got her ring now, so now she just want to give all this advice. It's not even that. Hear my heart, please. Because of my situation, how one moment I was disappointed and the next moment I meet a man of God who loves me, who wants to marry me, and it didn't take him long to figure that, like, take it from me that God can really change your situation if you really just surrender it to him. And if you've already surrendered it to him and you're still waiting, then just you're in a good place. You're in a good place, and just know that the Lord is working it out for you. So with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, by the time you guys see this, I will be on vacation, if not back home from vacation. But definitely check in with me through the vlogs. And yeah. I did my makeup a little differently because I had worked with JCPenney. I went to JCPenney a couple weekends ago and found a bunch of makeup from JCPenney Beauty. So I was using this black opal concealer, and this black opal concealer looks beautiful all over my face. So it's like foundation right now. I'm loving this concealer. So all I have on my face is concealer, contour, blush, and powder. That's still a lot of makeup, but I still get this full beat without using any foundation. So I'm like, I'm really good on foundation right now, because this is like doing me well. So, and the fact that my makeup is already more tan, this should still work while I'm out in the sun, because I'm going somewhere where there's some sun, ready to get a tan, because right now I'm looking at snow here in Maryland. So anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for the love, for the wishes, for the prayers, for the comments, for everything. Thank y'all so much. Just for being genuinely happy for me. If you've been riding with me for all this time, since I've been in college, since I've been in high school, you've seen it all, honey. You've seen a lot. And I just appreciate, every time you guys leave a comment. And I'm not gonna try to hide too much from the comments just because of people wanting to be negative. I do apologize, but that is why I have been a little silent when it comes to the comments, because I'm just like, it's already enough trying to put out something that is so exciting to you out into the world, but then when people got negative things to say, it's like, actually, I could actually keep this to myself then. How about that? You know, I don't have to talk about it. I can talk about other stuff, you know, but I do appreciate you guys, and I recognize that the platforms that the Lord has given me does give me a space to just honestly testify about the goodness of the Lord. That's it. It's truly just to testify about the goodness of the Lord. This ain't even about me. This is truly about the Lord, and I want to end it with that. It is all about Jesus, and during this time, with all the chaos going on in the world, turn to Jesus, repent, get in the Word, get a relationship with the Lord. And yeah, like I said, coming to people's channels and just kind of taking in all of our content and stuff. Like, you see us shop, you see us travel, you see us get engaged, you see all these things. But at the end of it all, at the end of the day, it is all about Jesus. And that is what I truly want each and every person to ever get from my channel. Get Jesus. At the end of the day, get Jesus. Yeah, and just know that I am truly, 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 truly grateful for each and every one of you, y'all. So as always, if you're new, I'm Jay. If you're not new, I appreciate you supporting me with whatever I do here with my channel. I love each and every one of you to no end. And of course, until next time, God willing, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.